Welcome everybody to look at another Radiance Films release. So this was is number 44 in their collection. So Black Cat Killers was number 43, so that's why I looked at that one first. But today we're looking at 1974's Allonsanfan. So yeah, this is directed by the Taviani brothers, Paolo and Vittorio, and it's a historical drama clocking in at 112 minutes long. Stars Marcello Mastroianni even, who was in The Sunday Woman, which is another Radiance Films release. Leia Massari, who was in I Want Him Dead, which is a spaghetti western, as well as Mimsy Farmer, who was in Four Flies on Grey Velvet, the 1981 version of The Black Cat, and Concord Affair, which, yeah, really was ripping off of the airport films from the 70s, Italian style. So this is about the 1815 restoration, where an aging revolutionary finds himself reluctantly involved in an attempted insurrection in southern Italy, or what is now known as southern Italy, while growing increasingly disillusioned with his cause. So this is overall an engrossing effort, despite some elements either not working or just not being explored enough to be wholly satisfying. But that said, it does all come together nicely by the film's conclusion. The cast is also really rather good. The cinematography is great. The locales look excellent. The score by Ennio Morricone is superb, which is probably the most well-known part of this film is his score. The main theme, for instance, has more than 5 million plays on Spotify. So yeah, that's certainly more than probably who has ever watched this film. It is generally well paced and the characterization is decent. Just a shame that the goals of the revolutionaries aren't clearly set out, nor is what they are rebelling over with those in charge of the fractured area, because it wasn't known as Italy at that time. It's as it says on the audio commentary, Italy, as we now know it, was basically a series of city-states that were either at war with one another or didn't really get along. So, yeah, it's not really known who is in charge of this fractured area or who is, taking out these rebels, which means that the threat is really rather in the background, which makes it really rather lackluster. Which isn't to say that no one dies or anything like this. The rebels do get ambushed at one point. By whoever is in charge. Again, not really well explored in that regard. And then they do also get taken out by some peasants in this town that is being ravaged by cholera. But yeah, it's just not. There is no real sense of threat there, so you don't really able to sympathize. Even though you can sympathize with our lead character in terms of him wanting a normal life, wanting to flee to America with the person he loves and his child, you just can't really get behind the revolutionaries because you don't know what they're really fighting against. Now, obviously, if you are historically minded, that won't be an issue, but I have no idea what period this is set in or anything in terms of the historical aspects or anything like that. So I was really rather lacking any kind of context. So yeah, that did make it a little bit underwhelming, but overall I did enjoy it. I do enjoy historical drama. And even though, like I said, there are parts to it that I wish work better, the parts that do work really rather well. And like I said, by the end of the film, it does really rather come together nicely enough. And I also really like its use of color, which yeah comes into play quite a fair bit, especially the color red. But yeah, as per usual with Radiance Films releases, get a nice coloured disc which fits the colour of the artwork that we've got here. But we also have a reversible artwork that you can use as well, which is yellow and black, which is nice enough. And then we get a booklet as well. That's our lead actor. And there he is again. And inside we have cast and crew, as well as Cinema of the Senses from 2023 by Robert Lumley, the brothers Taviani's Beyond Restoration from 1975 by Andre Tornes, and then transfer notes and credits. So this has been restored in 2K by Surf Film and Istito Luce Cinecita, and supplied to Radiance Films as a high definition digital file. And on the disc itself, we've got audio commentary by critic Michael Brook, archival interview by critic Gideon Batman, in which filmmakers Paolo Taviani, Florestano Vancini, Nello Risi, and Anna Gobi discuss filmmaking approaches, the role of the director, the future of cinema, and more. Now that is from 1966, I believe, so before this film was actually out. Then you got the original trailer and newly translated English subtitles. So, yeah, not a huge amount of extras there, but I did listen to some of the audio commentary, and yeah, was it Michael Brook? Yeah, he did emphasize the fact that this film for a long time has been forgotten about and not really well known outside of obviously the score. So yeah, even if I'm not fully behind the film itself, I give it 3.5 out of 5. By the way, it is nice to see that Radiance Films have given it a wide release, readily available release for people to discover. So that in of itself is well worth praise, even if the film itself could be a little bit better in certain areas to make it a much more satisfying watch. But overall, I enjoyed it. So yeah, if you have seen this film before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.